Hey everybody, it's Matt from You and Your Horror Movies, and welcome to my end of the month haul for my horror pickups of DVDs, Blu-rays, a couple 4Ks for December of 2021. So first, Happy New Year everybody. Now we're in 2022, so let's hope this year is a lot better than last year for everybody. I hope everyone has a good one and hope everyone starts having a good year. I know for some it starts off rough, but hopefully it'll get better. So, without further ado, I'm going to show off a few horror enamel pins that I'm going to be placing on the pin board. And when you see that, you're going to know one of the films I got. But anyway, first off, for horror enamel pins, I got the cool Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday sale pin. I thought that was kind of neat with the whole sale going on. Put that right there. Next up we have is the Frankenstein Pin. And you know exactly what movie this would be from when I show it. If you don't know, stay tuned. But I had to get that through Vinegar Syndrome's website. And my wife bought me this pin, which I thought was actually out of stock. I was kind of bummed on it. But surprise, surprise, she bought it for me. It's, of course, I Want to Believe from good old X-Files. The poster in the back. I thought that was awesome. This big, heavy metal pin. So, one of my cool Christmas gifts that I got from my wifey. Alright, slip covers. We have Don't Answer the Phone from Vinegar Syndrome, which I got put on the Blu-rays themselves. Kind of cool. We have, I love the artwork on this one. Graduation Day. It's got a very cool throwback old school slasher, and there's your back with the racing team. Them getting X off one at a time. That's pretty badass. And last is Frightmare, also known as, I think it's the horror host, which now I have to reverse it to put it under this one because I want it in proper alphabetical order. So yeah, there's that. Alright, now we're getting into the movies. Right off the bat, I want to show off this insane box set from Severin. Came with a cool box itself. I still have it sealed right now because I just got it not that long ago. So I wanted to, I know people have unboxed this movie, this box set called All the Haunts Be Ours. This thing is a brick and a half. You could build, if you had a whole shit ton of these, you could probably build a house. Solid. It's got a ton of films, short films on here. Glare is going to be not my good friend here. But it's got one of the main films. I think it's Eyes of Fire. It's a weird 80s one. But this has 12 Blu-rays, 3 CDs, 20 feature films. And you have like 15 hours of bonus features. So I love that gold when it hits. So yeah. Insane box set from Severin. Alright. Next up, we have a documentary that I've been after for a while. It's been out of print and had on my Amazon wishlist forever. It finally came up. The History Channel of the Amityville Haunting. So I have a bunch of Amityville documentaries, but I never owned the one from the History Channel. And this popped up on my Amazon list from a third-party seller for a real good price, so I jumped on it, brand new. So yeah, the History Channel on the Amityville Haunting. Next up, we have Ape vs. Monster. It's a weird kaiju movie. This is, of course, of Asylum, and it spoofs Rampage, and it also spoofs Godzilla versus Kong. So yeah, as you can see right there, you have an ape that was in a space program, crash lands, and it's covered in slime, and it grows, of course, astronomically huge. Then there's a giant Gila monster that licks the slime and starts growing even bigger. So yeah, you gotta love Asylum if you're into those mockbuster movies. It's stupid, but it's fun. Really bad CGI, but you know what? I don't care. Next up, from Severin, we have Ballet in Blood. This is one I don't know much about, So this will be a first time watch for me. I think this is a Italian horror from Ruggero Deodato. Sorry if I say these names wrong. So probably have a cool giallo maybe. But yeah, movie I have not seen. The next I got free. I was actually working at a horror sci-fi garage sale, and decided, I had a whole bunch of duplicates, extra movies I don't watch. So I decided to sell some, make a table, have people come and make and buy stuff. And there was a company there selling one of their movies, and they were giving this one free, called Black Mary. It's a local film, local in my area, so I can't wait to get this one out. I will be reviewing this when I watch it, along with the other one, which I'll be showing in a little while. Next up, we have Blind Date, thriller from the 80s. So another one I had not seen. If anybody's seen Blind Date, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. Looks pretty cool. Found it pretty cheap. Next up, we have an independent film, which I definitely got to review soon too, called Bloody Summer Camp. It's like a cool throwback slasher to the 80s. So this was like an Indiegogo, but I didn't partake in it. I missed it. So the director had a few left. So of course I picked one up. Gotta help the independent companies. Next up, my friend said, Matt, you gotta buy this and watch it. Called Covet, I think it is. Said it's very creepy. If anybody's seen this one, let me know. I have to give that one a watch, because he keeps asking me about it. He goes, have you seen it yet? Next up we have is Children of the Damned. Kind of like not necessarily like a sequel to Village of the Damned, but it's along that line. So of course, had to go up and grab on this copy. Next up, drop that one. My in-laws for Christmas decided to pick me up a movie. They go, we hope you don't have it, because I don't have movies or anything. But I was surprised I did not have this movie, called Clown Motel. They actually bought this for me. Yeah, I can see how this one goes. If anybody's seen Clown Motel, let me know. Yeah, so my in-laws saw this and they said, Matt's gotta see this. I'm like, okay. Why not, from my in-laws? Can't beat that. Next up, figured why not, from Gravitas Ventures, we have the Covet Killer. What's cashing on COVID, right? This actually takes place in New York City, and how Cuomo decides to put a ban on everything, and someone's going around with a surgical mask killing people. You can tell who they are wearing a surgical mask. You don't really hide yourself, but that's what it is. It's dude going around on a killing spree. He's got a surgical mask on and everything. So yeah, gotta get this one to watch. Of course, had to have it for the collection, because COVID being a stupid thing. Next up is an awesome upgrade. Creature from Vinegar Syndrome. This also goes by the title Titan Find, and I think it has that cut in it as well. So I can't wait to see how this one looks. For some reason, I forgot to take it out of the plastic, so I got to do that too. So Creature, fun alien movie knockoff. I've had a couple bad copies, and it's very hard to see. So I hope Vinegar Syndrome, which usually they do, makes it crystal clear. Creepshow Season 2. Yeah. I love my Creepshow series. I still find them fun. This does have the Christmas special, and it has that animated special, which I thought the animated special wasn't that good. The Christmas one was fine, but unfortunately there's one where they took out the one with, what's his face there? Marilyn Manson, I guess. There was supposed to be, I think, one in here, but they cut it, so unfortunately we don't have that episode. It was never aired. Fuck. Just air the damn thing. Next up, from Scream Factory, is one of their special website premieres, and it's called The Day the World Ended. The original with Roger Corman production. Had to jump on that. I like my old 50s, 60s sci-fi horror. Yeah, Day the World Ended. Alright, next up. Another one which actually came with a slipcover, which surprised me, called Dead Souls, another, I think it's an IFC, also Scream Factory. Don't know much about it. I found it cheap online, so I picked up a copy. And what drives me nuts is they cut the barcode. I hate when they do that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Next up, from Artsploitation, I found cheap at Soundgarden, called Der Samurai, about a transgendered individual or someone go around killing people with a samurai sword. Okay. I used to get stuff from them. They never sent me this. I guess it got lost or something happened, so I never owned a copy. So now I do. So if anybody's seen Der Samurai, let me know. All right, for $1, figured why not, called The Device. Looks like a weird alien invasion film movie. Again, I found this for, well, I should say $1.25 at Dollar Tree. So if it sucks, only $1.25. Next up, Dracula, Dead and Loving It. Had to upgrade my DVD. Love Leslie Nielsen, rest in peace. This is his vampire with Mel Brooks. I love this movie. It's funny as hell. Next up, we have Eye of the Devil. I think this is another old. This is a Hammer, I think it is. It's got a young Donald Pleasance in it, and a bunch of weird shit going on. I haven't seen this in years. So Eye of the Devil. This was like super cheap on Amazon, so I jumped on that one. Another upgrade, the Ebola Syndrome. This is the 4K Blu-ray that Vinegar Syndrome put out. That's the back right there. Wow, I can't believe this got a insane treatment. Again, I forgot to take out the plastic. So that's the back. If anybody's familiar with the Ebola Syndrome, yeah. If not, I definitely recommend checking it out. So the DVD was way out of print, but now you could probably find it cheap, maybe. But I'll probably get rid of my DVD. So yeah. Another upgrade, we have Evolution. This is a fun horror sci-fi comedy with David Duchovny and Orlando Jones and Seann William Scott. Pretty much a asteroid lands on Earth in a little cavern and starts having their own evolution. Bugs turning into creatures, creatures morphing into bigger creatures, etc., etc. And of course, the government steps in and fucks up. And the monsters are all loose, killing people. It's funny. I love it. I remember seeing that in the theater. So yeah, from the enamel pins, we got Flesh of Frankenstein. It has the 3D version and the normal version on here. It's an insane big box set. So you got this huge big ass box set there. There's that. I guess there's a problem with one of the discs, so they're going to be resending an oops disc. So yeah, can't wait to finally dive into this. So yeah, I love that box set. It's pretty sick. All stitches and everything. A couple Dollar Tree pickups again. We have Flight from Hell. Another one that's takes horror on an airplane. So this looks pretty interesting. I saw the trailer. Completely forgot all about it. I find it at the dollar store. I figured, oh, what's this again? I looked up the trailer and go, oh shit, that's the movie I've been after. $1.25. Okay. And then I grabbed The Girl in the Mirror. Another one for $1.25. Looked interesting. They had a few of these. I figured, what the hell, why not? If it sucks, well, yeah. You know how that saying goes. Next up is another upgrade from Severin. The Halfway House. Oh, this movie's fucking weird. It's got cool practical effects done by the Monster Man. Rest in peace. What's his name? Wow. Cleve Hall. Yep. He did all the special effects, a lot of practical, pretty much a nun, sacrificing troubled teens to like a Cthulhu type monster, tentacle monster. All practically done. This is fun. I had the DVD. I had to upgrade that. Speaking of another upgrade, we have Haruku the Goblin. This was done on a DVD by Fangoria. Now, Mondo did a Blu-ray release, and that's my number that I got, as you can see right there. Number 734 out of 1,500. Don't worry, once they all sell out, they go to the blue cases. So if you're not a fan of red, just wait. Documentary interview. We have Hitchcock and Truffaut. I'm gonna say his name all wrong. Pretty much the two are interviewing and whatnot. It's based on a book, and it's got real recordings of the two. So I had to grab this for super cheap. Add that into my documentary collection. Big fun stuff. Next we have Homebodies by Kino Lorber. This is a fun movie. If you ever see this movie, check it out. Pretty much about a bunch of these old people living in a condemned building. These people come by and say, you know, you gotta get out. We're kicking everybody out. We're condemning these buildings. They don't want to leave. They're old. They want to be left alone. Well, they decided to get revenge on these people by setting up booby traps on the scaffolding. Like, people are falling to their death. Elevators crashing and blowing up. And as the old people are doing it, then they start picking off people one at a time. Wow, this movie was actually a lot of fun. Definitely check out Homebodies. Next up, we have from Severin, House on the Edge of the Park. This is one I never owned. The Blu-ray was out of print for a while. That's the original artwork. This is, again, their release. I remember seeing this a long time ago. And I think the Code Red Blu-ray was gone. So this is the 4K Blu-ray with regular Blu-ray. Yeah. Next up, my wife got this for Christmas for me. The Inner Sanctum Mysteries. This has some old films from the 1960s. Calling of Dr. Death, Weird Woman, Death Man's Eyes, The Frozen Ghost, Stranger Confessions, and Pillow of Death. Movies I never even heard of. Vincent starring Lon Chaney Jr. So this should be pretty badass. And I just got this the other day, and it's an upgrade actually. The SRS limited edition of Killing Spree. Vinegar Syndrome just released their Blu-ray. Like, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep this version. It's insane, shot on video, crazy dude. Goes fucking ballistic. It's great. Next up we have Krampus, the Naughty Cut. I was very disappointed in this. There's only like a couple swear words added and one extra scene. That's it. I was kind of like, really? That's it? I was hoping for more, not like gore, but to make that R rating. I thought they would add a little more gore to it or a little more kills, but nah. So I'm happy with this, but still kind of disappointed. I could just kept the original. Next up from good old Walmart, we have The Lockdown Haunting, starring Tony Todd. This looked interesting, like some paranormal shit. If anybody's seen this one, let me know. Upgrade from Arrow, Mill of the Stone Woman. Had the old Mondo Macabro DVD, and now Arrow puts out this insane box edition of Mill of the Stone Woman. If you ever see this movie, definitely check it out. It's really good. Put that over there. Next up we have is The Mutation. This is right up my alley. It's so bad. Pretty much this guy's working on rats, and of course it mutates into like a humanoid rat monster and starts killing people. Got some good guts. Blood and guts to it. You could tell it's a dude in a suit. Then of course the rat monster grows even more. So yeah. I don't know. It's just stupid fun. I enjoyed it. I know some people really didn't like this as much, but it's a keeper for me. Next up, we have Roy Schneider in Night Game. I've had this one on my Amazon wishlist forever. I said, you know, fuck it. Just buy it because you know it's going to go out of print. This is from Olive Films. So I figured that thriller I had not owned. I've been hearing some good, some bad to it, but you know, it's all based on what you watch. Night of the Demon from Severin. Wow. This DVD has been evading me for quite some time. This is like the Bigfoot that rips people's balls off pretty much movie. I remember seeing the DVD at Soundgarden. I was like, oh shit. And then I realized this is coming out. So, of course, I waited and pre-ordered that for sure. That was a day one pre-order. Can't wait to dive in that. Next up, I don't know if it's really a horror, but I just realized there's a line through it. And that is Prisoners of a Ghostland steelbook with good old Nick Cage. I think this is more like a post-apocalyptic, which considered becomes some horror. Maybe it's more action. Let me know in the comments down below, you guys. If you've seen this one, would you put this in your horror collection or not? We have Resident Evil. This is the Infinite Darkness. This is the TV show that was aired on Netflix. Got its own release. I still haven't watched it. And I'm a big Resident Evil fan, so if anybody's seen it, let me know. From Vinegar Syndrome. Savage Harvest. Had part 2, just never owned part 1. So yeah, some weird demon, low budget shit, like Evil Dead. Next up, we have School of Death. This is the other Mondo, one that sounded really interesting to me. And I got number 653 out of 1,200. So yeah, don't know much about this one. Complete blind buy, but it just sounded really cool. My wife actually bought this one for me too for Christmas, called Shiver. About a serial killer going around decapitating people. It's got Danielle Harris in it. So if anybody's seen this one, let me know. Got a cool glossy slipcover. Another Dollar Tree find. We have Sleep No More. It looks like to do with people trying to stay up for like a large amount of time. They start seeing spirits or some kind of weird shit going on. So it's all about sleep deprivation. Yeah, I'll probably just want to watch soon. We'll see how that goes. Maybe tonight. Grab Starfish. I've been hearing weird things about this one. It's very Lovecraftian, which caught my attention. I saw some of what the creatures look like, and they look pretty cool. So if anybody's seen Starfish, I thought it was like a artsy movie at first, but I guess it is a horror film. We'll see. Steel and Lace. This is another one from the Vinegar Syndrome package. I guess it's another like serial killer movie. Another one I have not seen, so it's a blind buy. We have Tamara. This is actually a pretty cool flick. This girl's into witchcraft and whatnot. She likes the teacher. Of course, everyone picks on her, so they kill her in a... The students accidentally kill her, so she comes back to life as this, like, siren. Not like a siren, but a very seductive, beautiful-looking girl. So whoever she touches and kisses, they follow her around. Of course, she kills off certain ones. Gets her revenge. So, yeah. Tamara... Pretty cool flick. Alright, here's that other one I got from the Sci-Fi Garage Sale called Till Death Do Us Part. Grindhouse releasing. This is through near the Adirondacks, I think it is. And, no, Finger Lakes, which is near me. I figured I'm going to support independent horror. This looked pretty bloody and gory. It's a creature feature, zombie flick, love story, all the shit all into one. Yeah. Next up, we have is the Time Guardian. This was actually really cool. I never saw this before. Looked like a weird sci-fi robot Terminator ripoff with Star Wars ripoff and a bunch of other things down in Australia. Some cool gore, some cool kills. I'm adding this to my collection. Next up, we have is Trauma. I think this is what I have on my old Anchor Bay DVD, so I gotta see if this is the one. Next up, I got super cheap. We have the Vatican Tapes. Don't know much about it. I found it like at a video game store for like $2.99. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Looks like some Possession. And last but not least, the horror comedy Werewolves Within, which I really enjoyed. I thought this was fun. Had a lot of fun laughs with it. And I like the story of how it all played off. The seclusion played well. and the storyline played really well. All right, guys, that is it for my end of the month haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments down below. And again, have yourself a great New Year's and enjoy 2022 and be safe. Later, guys. Peace.